A warm namaste to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome back to my channel. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about twin flames in a way that has not been done before, because I'm going to be talking about both sides of this situation, or you can say this subject, which is becoming the talk of the town. Of course, my channel has lots of videos on twin flames, but please understand that every stage the meaning of twin flame changes. When you start from the recognition, it is different. When you go to crisis, it means different. When you hit runner and chaser, it is different. And by the time you surrender, you finally begin to understand the actual thing that's happening in your life. Ever since the word twin flame dropped into your energy field and you started getting resonated with it, things have never been the same. So let's get started and let's dive deep into this. I was in a therapy session and I was talking to someone, and I felt like this person was in a very toxic situation, and I felt like this person was not in the idealistic relationship that they wanted, because it also depends on what a person wants. There are people who just want to do inner work. They don't want to get into relationship or any type of entanglement, but they like talking to other people. For them, the twin flame journey will mean something completely different. But then there are people who want marriage, who want engagement, or who want love, or who want something out of another person, and then they are looking for that type of 3D manifestation and it's not happening and it's frustrating them. Then that's a different situation altogether. We need to understand that we cannot fit in twin flame according to our convenience, because it's an esoteric concept. It is a metaphysical concept. It is a spiritual concept, and it is not what a lot of people have been thinking it to be. So when I was talking to this lady, and yes, I have even spoken to men who have been in very toxic patterns during therapy sessions, during energy readings. They come up with the stories. And in many cases, I have felt that it's a toxic situation that they're in. But when I ask them that why are you entangled in this situation? Why don't you get out of this situation? They tell me that because it's my twin flame. Because this person is my twin flame, so I don't want to let this person go. However, if you think from your logical reasoning mind and you use your common sense, then probably either you need a break from that person, you just need to sit in a corner and think like, what do you really want from life? Or you need to actually protect yourself from that type of physical damage. Maybe there is physical abuse, or maybe there is some other kind of abuse which is affecting their life in the physical environment also, but they don't want to let go of that person just because that person is, according to them, a twin flame. And there is probably some kind of sexual exchange happening. So please understand that twin flame as a concept is a concept that takes you away from sexual addictions also. Because it's a pure concept, so there is no room for sexual misconduct, for lust-based relationships, and for people who are using this concept to cheat on their partners or to form relationships which devalue other people in a sexual manner, or it is all about the lust, but because they want to kind of make it sound very nice, they say, okay, we are doing it because it's a twin flame connection. So one of the first things that you need to know, everybody needs to know this, we all need to be in one page with this, is that the twin flame journey is all about bringing in our logical and emotional side into balance, which means that we need to have adequate amount of logic, but at the same time we also need to have adequate amount of emotion. It is absolutely okay to be emotional. At the same time, it is also important to have common sense. The second thing which is very important is that you need to have, we all need to have some kind of accountability. We need to have ownership. We also need to be that person who says that, okay, I take complete ownership for my journey. Because if you're going to pass the blame to other people, or if you're going to even pass the blame to your own self, it becomes very hard. Like sometimes we look at our own selves and we say like, you're such a bad person, you're not a good person. I mean, it's okay to be realistic. We all are sinners. We all have made mistakes. Nobody is perfect. But this journey is about striking a balance between imperfection and perfection. Because certain part of our nature is going to reflect imperfections, and certain part of our nature is going to show the perfection that God has created all of us with. I mean, in how God has created us, be it anatomy, be it soul, be it mind, there is no aberration, there is no mistake. However, these aberrations and mistakes are very much important for our own growth also, because we need lessons to learn. We need to grow and we need to ascend, and that's why we need certain important lessons. And for those important lessons, we have to be open and aware. And that's why we need to take complete ownership of our own actions and whatever happens to us, and we need to be patient as well. Like today, a person could be feeling down and low and unhappy, and they say a lot of things to other people. They'll say a lot of mean things to other people. They get negative and they feel everybody is their enemy. But the next day, when a realization is dawned upon them, they realize that, okay, I was probably going a little bit too much. I should not have said this, or I should not have said that. This realization is very, very important in the twin flame ascension journey, and this comes from crisis and runner chaser, because in runner chaser dynamic also, the two people involved, because there are two people involved, of course, the other person is a stimuli, but actually it is one person involved. Like there is only one person, and that is the person who is the seeker, the truth seeker, the love seeker, the person who is interested in inner work, the person who is doing research, the person who is not doing any research, the person who doesn't care about the twin flame concept, or the person who is not that into it, is not the person who is going to resonate so much with this label. They might resonate with it on a materialistic standpoint, and they might think, okay, it must be some kind of a really pleasant experience, and which is why a lot of people get drawn to it. But it is not 100% a pleasant situation. It is going to bring out your flaws, and it is going to put you on a pedestal where you're going to figure out that this is what I want and this is what I don't want. This is for my good and this is not for my good. From a soul progression point of view. I mean, whatever you're doing in this twin flame ascension journey, it is not for your materialistic growth only, because what is materialistic growth? What is materialism? What is consumerism? What is money? What is wealth? At the end of the day, if we don't have peace of mind, if we don't feel present, if we don't feel surrendered, we're never going to harmonize, we're never going to eliminate, and we're never going to reach singularity via the blending in or the union of masculine and feminine energy. So there is a thin line. There's a thin line in this journey always. Just like Buddha had spoken in one of his discourses about the middle path. So twin flame journey is literally the balance between the masculine and feminine, which means that you don't let go of your masculinity, neither do you let go of your femininity. You don't let go of any of these parts of you, rather you keep both these parts in correct balance. So you need both logic and you need both emotion. You need the sun, you need the moon. You need the gold, you need the silver. You need the yin, you need the yang. You need the anima, you need the animus. You need the ardhanarishwar. You need the Shiva and Shakti both. This video is more focused on the twin flame ascension journey, because I feel more or less we all understand about the word twin flame. Twin flame means two energies, two dualistic energies. But twin flame ascension means the merging of these two opposite polar energy. So obviously, when you are a twin flame, it's not the same as being in twin flame ascension journey. When you start out, you're a twin flame. You have the energy of twin flame, because twin flame is an energy. It is not a specific person. It is not the name of a person. It is an energy which anybody can possess who is in the ascension journey. But when this energy starts moving upwards from the kundalini to other chakras and via the shushmana, that's when the whole thing starts. That is the process of the twin flame ascension journey, from being just a twin flame to being in the journey, and then finally from duality to singularity. So this twin flame love is not easy. A lot of people have said that to me. But at the same time, a lot of people have also said, who have progressed in the journey, who have gained something in the journey, they said that they finally feel it's worth it. To figure it out, it took them time. And this is something which I've heard in unison and personal experience. A lot of people think that surrender happens like this. Runner chaser happens like this. Recognition happens like this. No. It takes time. It takes decades even. So by the time you reach the end point of runner chaser dynamic and you are entering surrender, you have actually gone through a lot. You would have naturally gone through a lot. Some of my students and some of the people who I have been working with have told me that before they started working with me, because I work with people who are usually stepping into surrender. This is what I was told by my masters in the very beginning only, that you will be helping people in surrender. You will not need to help people in recognition, because the people who will come to you would have recognized the essence of true love within themselves and they are now looking for it outside. Finally, the time will come when they will start looking for it inside, and that is the beginning of surrender. But it is not easy. It is very hard to let go of runner chaser, because runner chaser is the programming pattern that has been given to us. So it is not going to be easy to let go of those addictions, those habits, those patterns that have been troubling us for the whole life, that has been giving us pain. But my dear friends, pain is a teacher and we need pain to grow. Now let's understand, there is a need in people. They want a soul connection. They want a divine counterpart. They want true love in a romantic way. Whether this need is a desire, is it a result of programming, or it really happens in the way that we see in films and movies, the same thing, romantic novels, shows, television, there's that. Or is it something else that most people don't know about? Twinflame Ascension journey is basically going to take you to the truth of what is a soul connection, what is love, what is a divine counterpart, and what is a soul in its entirety. Are we all going to become enlightened beings? Whosoever is in the journey? We don't know that. Then there are people who are actually talking about it as if they are in the union and they have achieved it because they have someone else to stand as a proof. But let me tell you, in metaphysics, we don't need proofs. We don't need proofs. We are patient enough to understand it via our own experience. And metaphysics is all about reaching to a conclusion with timing and with surrender. Surrender to who? Surrender to the masters. Now we all have spirit guides, we all have ancestors working with us. But many a times the spirit guides and ancestors may not be on the same page. Because ancestors and spirit guides might also be in the reincarnation cycle. In the worldly reincarnation cycle, there are two types of reincarnation cycles. One is a worldly and one is a non-worldly. One is like a program that they come into. The ascended masters have also come to planet Earth just because they had to spread the energy, because when it is complete dark age, at that time Vishnu and Lakshmi cannot reincarnate because the energy is so low. The frequency is so low of this planet of Earth that they cannot reincarnate. So they only reincarnate till descending Dwapar and ascending Dwapar. They can reincarnate right now. After 2000 they can. And even after 1900 there is a platform which has been created. But the time when Vishnu and Lakshmi cannot reincarnate on Earth, that's the time when the masters, the ascended masters, they come on planet Earth, and they are very, 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 very pure souls and highly advanced. Highly advanced. It's not that they are not criticized. It's not that they are not treated badly by people. They also have to go through a lot of things. Criticism, challenges. But they have a very strong source connection. who is the greatest master. So the whole universe, the whole cosmic reality works on sounds. So anybody who is in this ascension journey has to understand that if you want to grow, you have to master the science of sounds, the mantras, and also faith. Love and faith are connected with each other. What is twin flame or what is soulmate? Basically a life partner. People are looking for a life partner, someone who they can be very happily with. But I personally feel that challenges are a part of life, and it is very easy with the programming pattern that we all fall into or we all come from. It is very easy to shift the blame on other people when you're unhappy. But then if you can figure it out and you can practice forgiveness and you can practice letting go and you can accept the fact that yes, people have good days and bad days, just the way I have good days and bad days, others also can have good days and bad days. It makes your life much more easier and you can be on your ascension journey, because that is the goal of people who are in the spiritual ascension journey. And which is why in the very beginning I said this thing, that twin flame is not just physical experience. If you want the physical experience, then there is normal marriage, engagement, dating, sexual relationships, etc., etc. But if you want something more from your life, you want to grow, you want to ascend, and you are doing it via the twin flame ascension journey, then it has to be beyond the physical. And to go beyond the physical, you have to really do a lot of things. You have to go through so many experiences. You have to work on so many levels on yourself. And forgiveness is the base. If we cannot forgive other people who have hurt us, it becomes very difficult. We need to forgive. Forgive. And I'm telling you, this is not just something that I'm, making up or coming up with, but you can actually try it out. You can forgive people and then feel a different kind of peace that you were not feeling before you had not yet forgiven them. Forgiveness also closes the loop of karma that we have with other people. And in Twin Flame Ascension journey, we have seen it is so hard to forgive some people. There are people who in their childhood were abused. They were treated very badly. They have some very dark experiences. And they are growing up and then they keep attracting other people, and they have not obviously learned the art of forgiveness. And they have not forgiven a lot of people even in the childhood. So they keep attracting other people because the loop is still open. So in a way, God is actually sending you people who are going to hurt you, who are going to trouble you, only so you can forgive them and close the loop of karma. And then maybe you can see things much more clearly. Who is good for you and who is not good for you. Now, many twin flames are in separation, or those who think that they are twin flames, or someone is their supposed twin flame, maybe false twin, maybe karmic, because there are different concepts, maybe catalyst, whatever, but they are in a state of separation. They feel that they don't have anyone around them. Now, this is the illusion, because separation is an illusion. And in some cases, people are in separation because their own person, whosoever it was, husband, wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend, someone they were in live-in with for many years, or someone they were deeply connected with, walked away with another person. Out of the blue, they just walked up to them and said that, look, I cannot really be with you and I cannot do this relationship thing and I have someone else in my life. So they've gone away. So for whatever XYZ reason, either you chose to be away from them or they chose to be away from you. Some of the people have gone through betrayal, some of the people have gone through heartbreaks, and some of the people generally just felt very detached and disconnected from choosing relationship. I also personally know a lot of people who have decided, who have chosen to be by themselves. They don't want to be in any situationship or relationship or anything. They just want to enjoy their life. But even they have dynamics with people. Even they have something going on in the sphere of masculine and feminine energies. In the sphere of gender maybe, in the sphere of liking maybe, in the sphere of just figuring things out, or in the sphere of, you can say, they want to understand love in a pure form, in a very abstract form. Sometimes, in some cases, because in this video I'm talking about different layers, and to understand you have to watch it till the end, and please do share your comments and Do share your resonance, do share how you feel about the journey so far, because some of you have just probably started out and some of you may have been in this journey for quite some time, and some of you are still trying to forgive, and some of you have some anger, and some of you are at peace. So as I said, different people, different levels, different phases, different cycles. Please do share your experience and how you feel about it. In some of the cases, some of you could also be experiencing extramarital relationship, or you could be probably confused about a certain person's presence in your life, or you could be considering polygamy, or you could be thinking, is it wrong or is it right to have multiple relationships? Maybe you're a man and you have 2 women in your life, 3 women in your life. Maybe you're a woman with maybe 2-3 options in your life and you feel love for them, and you're exploring it, you're confused about it. Some of you are thinking about matriarchy and patriarchy. Some of you are bitten by the bug or bitten by the sting, it stings by patriarchy or matriarchy. Some of you cannot trust masculine energy, masculine gender, and some of you cannot simply trust feminine gender or feminine energy. Considering all of these various things, situations, categories in mind, we are talking about the twin flame ascension journey. There is one more challenge that a lot of people face, which makes this whole journey kind of unique and sometimes confusing. And that is the confusion between spirituality and materialism. A lot of people believe in past lives, a lot of people believe in reincarnation, a lot of people believe in the metaphysical realm. But at the same time, they're looking for proofs in the physical reality. Now, let me tell you, when you actually purely surrender to source and to masters, and you're devoted, on a daily basis you're devoted, you're practicing a path that they have shown to you, you have 100% belief, you are definitely going to see synchronicities which are going to be beyond your understanding of the materialistic point of view. I mean, things will happen in such a way that you will be mind blown, you will be shocked, but you will still have a smile on your face, because the way universe will start interacting with you, the way masters will speak to you, the way nature will interact with you, it will change completely. And that's why people talk about repeating numbers, people talk about dreams, people talk about astral projections, people talk about visions. And then comes a phase or a type of people, which is my next point, who have strong intuitive abilities. They have gifts that are not materialistic in nature. I mean, materialistically, you cannot really say, okay, this is what it is, and here's a proof of it. Here's a proof of how I know this or how I know that. But you know it. And how you know that your intuition is correct is because your intuition is giving you physical synchronization, physical synchronized message that are very specific and unique to your journey. It is not for other people to figure out. Like if you see God in a leaf, or if you see your masters, like you can interact with your masters, you can talk to your spirit guides, or you can have clairvoyance, or maybe you can interact with animals, you can communicate with people without words. And someone says, prove it to me. Show me a proof. Prove it to me. You will not fall into that zone anymore. Similarly is love of a pure nature. When you feel love for someone, you don't need proof for it. You don't need validation for it. You don't need stamp for it. And that is how we have telepathy, and that is how we have intuition. That is how we have connection. We have all these things going on in our life. It becomes stronger and stronger and stronger with time when the twin flame ascension journey becomes more and more advanced in your life. So a lot of people feel a past life connection. A lot of people feel something very strong. But let me tell you, it has to pass the test of time. It cannot pass the test of time in 1 month or 2 months. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. You have to get to know a person for at least 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. Then only you can understand synchronizations. Then only you can understand how the astral world works. Then only you can understand what is the profound relationship you share with the higher realm and within this realm. Because it's not that we are denying the materialistic world. We are not saying, okay, all of this that I see in front of me, it's not real. It is also real. But is it permanent? Do you think this in front of you, the house you live in, the walls, the body, whatever time frame it has been here? I mean, of course, you can't say the wall doesn't exist. The wall exists. But is it permanent? Is it going to be like this forever? Even the paint on the wall. Today, maybe it's white paint. It's beautiful white paint. Maybe tomorrow something splashes on it. Something falls on it. It's not going to be white forever. But as I said, there is a time factor which comes into play. Because nature works in a very interesting way. Nature has seasons. Nature has days and nights. So if you have day right now, you will have night after some time. If it's night, it will be day soon. And nature is trying to teach us the permanence and impermanence of many things at the same time. So just the way sun exists and moon exist, but there is also a change in day and night. You can't say it's going to be day all the time or it's going to be night all the time, even though the sun and moon exist and you see it every day. Then there has been a saying that has done its turns everywhere, that a twin flame is two people divided into two equal halves. I mean, it's a soul that is divided into two equal halves. I think it has been misunderstood. When we say Ardhanareshwar, because this concept actually comes from India, it's an ancient Indian concept called Ardhanareshwar or Shiva Shakti energy, which tries to say that every single person has the masculine and feminine energy both. But you also see it in yin yang, which comes from China, and you see it in every other place. Also, other indigenous cultures have also spoken about it. Even scientists have spoken about this energy. So we have heard about it pretty much. But personally, I cannot say that a soul can be divided into two equal halves. But I can definitely say that a person's journey can be created in such a way that one half of them is healed and the other is not. Or maybe you can say half of their feminine is healed and half of their masculine is healed, but half is not healed, other half is not healed. So when they are born in a certain household, they are born to parents who reflect them the greatness of the feminine energy, the beauty and the power of the feminine energy, and at the same time the weaknesses and challenges of the feminine energy. And we apply the same with masculine energy. They see how powerful masculine is, how logical masculine is, but we also see how it suffers because of emotions or some other things, okay, which are pretty much masculine in nature. So as a twin flame, you are basically half healed and you are half distorted. So when you start working on yourself, you have to figure out and you have to remember and you have to also take ownership that half of you is healed and half of you is not healed. And then we take this ownership not for other people, we take it only for ourselves. Unless you reach a place where other people start approaching you. Because in this world, even generally, I have been taught this and I'm going to pass it out to you also. Trust me, anybody. Trust me, this is like magical tip that I'm giving to you. Even in your family, even in your cousins, even in your friends, even with people who matter a lot to you, do not help them, do not advise them until and unless they walk up to you and they ask you for help or they ask you for healing. Because a lot of twin flames have this healing ability. Number one, they have this healing ability. But number two, some of them are also trying to heal people, and it could be in the same person, these two opposite polar qualities, that they're also trying to heal other people because they have been broken themselves and nobody actually came to help them, or they went through a phase where they felt like the dark night of the soul. So they have this natural kind of sympathy towards other people. We need to heal this problem of sympathy and turn it into empathy. So only when someone walks up to you and only when someone tells you that I need your help, please help me out, then only you should help them out. I need healing from you, only then you should heal. Otherwise, a lot of your beautiful, precious energy is going to get dissipated because we are here to work on ourselves. When we are healed, we can heal others. And this brings me to my next point, because a lot of people are trying to heal the distorted person in their life, which means that a lot of people are trying to heal their divine feminine, a lot of people are trying to heal their divine masculine. And the runner chaser dynamic also, we see this happening a lot of times when the person is like, okay, I want to heal you, I want to heal the problem within us, between us, by healing you. So what we need to do is we need to think, and we need to actually rethink, and we need to say that I need to heal my own self. I need to heal my own feminine issues or my own masculine issues in order to heal the other person. Because the other person has not asked for your help. If they have not asked for your help, you should not help them. Secondly, there is no state of perfect love. And most people are looking for a state of perfect love. It doesn't exist. You have to actually make it happen. You have to make the efforts. And as I said, when you start working on your own self, when you start releasing your own flaws, your own problem areas, then that state of perfection is felt within you. The gratitude is felt within you. The aha moments are felt within you. The epiphanies are felt within you. The synchronicities are felt within you. And that creates an energy. That creates an energy within you, an ascended energy, which is reflected and seen outside. And then when you see outside people, in the outside reality, when you see people who are unhealed, you know how you heal them? You heal them by a smile, or by letting it go, by giving them forgiveness, by contributing silently, by saying, okay, I want to just give my love to this person, and by making prayers for people. So, of course, we cannot help people directly if they don't ask for our help, but we can pray for them silently. Like if you see there's someone who's struggling, someone who's in pain, you pray for them. Or if you feel that they need discipline, you telling them to discipline themselves will never work. Like how these failed wilderness programs we have been hearing about in the West, where they send like very rich people who are paying like $50,000, $20,000, which is like good amount of money. They're sending their kids to these wilderness camps because they feel that the children are broken, and they want to fix the children, they want to change the children, they want to turn the children into completely new people altogether. And they're expecting some kind of magic to happen, and it doesn't happen. The parents want the children to be disciplined in a way that they are completely new and they are in total obedience, and they want to release the rebellion in the kids. So they are sending them for these wilderness programs. Now, some of the wilderness programs are not working because they are focused on the discipline without the touch of spirituality. So yes, certain kids, certain people, certain adults need discipline too. But with the touch of spirituality, it makes all the difference. Now, this will take me to my next point, because this is where there's a danger of ego. Because ego is the state of mind, or it is how we, describe sort of an entity which takes energy from our physical identity, and our physical identity is also considered. Physical identity with a voice is also considered to be ego. So this ego basically needs to be released, and we don't need the ego. We need the self-respect, but we don't need the ego. So we release the ego. And how do we do that? Is by giving up the doership. When we give up the doership, we naturally release a lot of stress and burden that lies on us for perfection and for doing things correctly and for taking all the credit. So when we take all the credit for everything we do, we are also going to have to take all of the burden of the things that don't go well. Because the things will not go well 100% as you imagine, as you think. There will be problems. There are always going to be challenges, and there will always be negative situation. So one day you are basically trying to discipline the child, and the child learns a lesson. But the second day the child will not learn the lesson. And in this twin flame dynamic, even though people talk about love and about connection and about partnership, but I always see the parenting, unhealed parenting wounds, traumas. It's like the child is looking for a perfect mother and father in the relationships and the romantic relationships they form with others. But it doesn't sound right, it doesn't sound sensible. But why does it happen is because for the child, the first masculine or the first feminine they see in front of them, or whosoever has created them physically, is their mother and father. So they are always imagining or thinking or visualizing their partner to be in the light of their parents, but the parents are not healed, or they are not healed and they have some kind of conflict and some kind of issue going with their parents. So if a person cannot trust their mother or father, they will not be able to trust their partners also, because they have an innate problem going on with the first primary or primitive, or for them the most primitive, feminine or masculine figure. So how to heal this problem of distorted femininity and masculinity is by giving up the doership to the masters, to source. This journey cannot be figured out if you don't give ownership to source, because God is everything, whether it sounds religious, whether it sounds spiritual, whether it sounds like woo-woo, but I just want to maintain this, that God is actually, and by God also I don't mean God energy, because God energy is here and there is source energy, supreme energy. So we are talking about connection with the supreme, and this journey is about integrating with the supreme energy, with the source energy. And if you want to gain the most, I mean, you can go through a lot of criticism, you can go through backstabbing, you can go through pain, you can cry, you can be heartbroken, you can have fights, arguments, disagreement, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, if you are connected with source, everything will be okay. So in love or in family or in relationships, in career, whatever it is, source integration is the way forward for twin flames, for star seeds, for light workers, for anybody who is in ascension. Trust me, in times to come, more and more people will understand twin flames or will be resonating with twin flames, because technically speaking, we all have to heal the Anima and Animus. We all have to heal the Ida and Pingala Nadi within us. We have 72,000 Nadis in our energy body. Now someone might say, show me proof that you have energy body. Show me proof that you have 72 energy nodes. But we do. It is not something that you can surgically see. You cannot cut your heart and body and you can say, okay, here is where the 72,000 nadis are, or here is where the Shushmana is, here is where the chakras are. We can't do that. Now for that, we have to also become an equal, a matching version who can be open to see this via the third eye. So that's why I spoke about intuition. So intuition, or your Ajna chakra, your third eye chakra, is going to help you to be able to connect with your energy body, with your Ida Pingala, with the Shushmana, at least the understanding, because there are so many higher dimensions. And the masters are at the 7th dimension and above. And we are still oscillating between 3D, 5D. Some of the people go really high in one day. They go really high. They go to the 12th dimension also. They are so much connected with God, even if it's a tiny speck of moment. But then again, they come back to lowest guilt, shame, hell, fear. Now again, I don't want to say it is wrong or right. I think in many cases, it is also natural when you're working with other people, when you're healing other people, when you're healing your relationship via healing your own self. Many people, trust me, will not understand the world twin flame comes from, or people who resonate with this journey, because there are so many people who are in happy marriages, or there are so many people who have children. There are so many people who are single. There are so many people who are single by choice, and some are single because they're waiting for someone. A lot of people may or may not resonate with this. A lot of people may or may not understand. My suggestion to you is, don't try to prove it to anyone, because if you're going to try to prove it to anyone, it will put you into a very negative space. You don't have to. If you know about it, it's okay. It's more than enough. You should be able to prove it to yourself, and you should know about it. You should have awareness of it. That is more than enough. If you are happy, everything is fine. Some people see twin flame as a separate thing, and some people see relationship as a separate thing. Some people feel that when you are in a relationship, you are a normal person, and if you're not in a relationship or physical presence, you are not in a normal reality or normal world. Here I want to say that again you need to put in your logic. Again you put in the balance of logic and emotion, and whatever that gives to you, that will be the deciding factor, and the peace you feel will be the deciding factor. Are you feeling peace or not? And are you okay to not feel peace also? And as I said, again, one more thing I said in the same video, that pain is a teacher. It is okay to be in pain sometimes. So twin flame journey is actually trying to teach you it is what it is. It is what it is. This is what is in front of you right now. Accept it. If you don't accept it, you will be in pain, the type of pain that you cannot even bear or tolerate. If you have pain in your body, like we have menstrual cycles, we know that 4 days in a month we will have pain. We have accepted it. So it is okay, but if we don't accept it, we are in double pain. Similarly, if you're in the twin flame journey, say you don't want to use the label of twin flame, you're in any relationship and you have difficult days and you cannot accept it, you will be in double pain if you cannot accept those difficult days. If you accept and say, okay, today is a difficult day and tomorrow maybe a very happy day, we need to accept both. Even on happy days, we cannot be like, oh my God, wow, today is a happy day, yay, Okay, it's a happy day. It's not permanent. Right now it feels happy. It is impermanent. So it is all about accepting the impermanent nature of whatever happens around you, and also while being in acceptance of the permanence. Like, what is permanent? Impermanence is also permanent. Difference between a materialistic person and a spiritual person is that the spiritual person in a relationship or spiritual person in love with someone does not believe in a dream relationship. People are looking for a dream partner. People are looking for a dream come true kind of relationship. People are looking for happy endings, how they show in the movies and the TV shows and whatever novels they make. Even a movie like 50 Shades of Grey is trying to come to a conclusion that there can be a happy ending in 2 of these weird characters. I mean, that's how it became such a successful love story, because the characters looked so twisted and so dark. At least one of the characters looked so twisted and so dark, and despite that, this character is very good looking and handsome and rich. So they make a character very dark and twisted and misogynistic and actually physically also damaging. He has a whole room full of gadgets and equipments that can physically hurt the person he's in love with, but he's also shown to be rich and handsome and good looking. And I think from the materialistic world's point of view, it is okay if someone is very good looking, it is okay if someone is handsome or very sexy or very attractive and whatever. I mean, looks basically decide everything. Now, looks should be both inside and outside of a person. A person can be beautiful, good looking, attractive, but they may not be a nice person. And someone who is maybe not that good looking and attractive may be a very nice person. Now, in the twin flame journey, the funny part or the interesting part is that I have seen people who are seeking healing or who are in energy sessions with me. They're actually very good looking and attractive, and a lot of them are good looking and attractive. And I always say this to all those people I have spoken to. Whenever I've seen a very physically good looking person feeling very sad and unworthy, I have told them that just look at yourself in the mirror. Go and stand in front of the mirror. Just look at yourself. What makes you think that your twin flame DMDF finds you unattractive? Because you are pretty much attractive. So this also sort of made me think and question that there are so many people on this planet who may be good looking, attractive, wealthy, they have everything, or maybe they have one or two of these things, but they can still feel unworthy, or they can still feel abandoned, left out, they can still feel unattractive, they can still feel unloved. Whereas we see even in the physical reality, there may be people who do not fall into the category of ultra good looking or very rich, but they have still managed to attract partners. I have seen handicapped people, or I've seen abused people have attracted very healthy and very loving partners. How did they do it? So this makes me ask a question to myself. In the past, I used to ask this question, and I'm going to ask this question to all of you also. Is it actually physical? Everything? Material? No.
Universe, what's the difference between physics and metaphysics? Anything physical is matter. From the word matter, another word is created, material. And from material, we have all the materialistic things. Now, they can be temporary in nature, but they're still matter. If you go to a mountain and you pick up a stone from a mountain, you can actually contain the mountain, but you still cannot contain the whole mountain, but you can still collect the essence of it. So that makes it matter. Interesting. So why is studying physics not enough? Why do people need to study metaphysics as well? Well, there are lots of things that you cannot see, but you can feel. And energy is one of them. There are days that you feel happy and there are days that you feel sad. In fact, in the same day, your mood can shift. When you're happy, you have more energy. When you're sad, you have low energy. What if you know how to manage this energy? I can be a much more relaxed person and my life can be amazing if I can manage my emotions. Studying metaphysics can help you do that. That's why it's important.
So what we think is that matter is everything and then comes the mind and the soul, but it could be the other way around. Maybe the soul and the mind is the creator of matter. And this is what this journey is helping people understand, that the problems that they see, because every problem has exceptional cases, everything on this planet has exceptions, and there are labels and there are tags and there are trends, and how these trends change. Like, I remember when I was a child, there was this trend of tall girls being very beautiful, like tall, slim, fair-skinned girls. They are very beautiful. Short people were not considered good looking. If there are a lot of normal heighted or short people sitting somewhere and suddenly a tall lady or a tall man would enter, people would be like, wow. And it happens with men also, I think. It's like tall, dark and handsome. Then there was a time when fair, tall and handsome became something. Then there was a time when men with slightly feminine looks became very good looking. So trends keep changing. There was a time when dad bod was everything. Like in India, we could see this in one movie, that the villain was someone who had waxed his chest. And the hero told him that, why are you acting like this? Why did you wax your chest? You are so disgusting. But cut to 20 years later, it is like literally everybody, the hero or the model or everyone, all the normal guys also, they are waxing their bodies and they're removing their hair from the body. Now it is a fashion. And again we are going back towards dad bod. Again we are going back towards curvy bodies. And again we are going back towards this complexion or that complexion. So it keeps changing. So what is permanent? Change. Change is a constant. Whatever your situation is, if you're looking for a deep soul connection, you have to look for it within. Otherwise, we'll all end up being the musk deer who is looking for the musk outside, but actually the perfume is inside its own belly. If you're looking for spiritual partnership, then first you need to find that spiritual partnership with your own self, and then you can actually seek for it outside, because spiritual partnership is not something which comes from a day or two of knowing your own self. When you know yourself and you've spent good amount of yourself, then you have a partnership with your own self, then you can form a deep connection with other people also, which is also very selfless and very giving and very kind. But at the same time, you can be disciplined. You can be a person who doesn't just sit like a vegetable. So just because you're a spiritual person, you're supposed to be a vegetable, let people come and cut you. In India, we have this very interesting saying which says ahimsa paramo dharma, but this is only 50% of the saying, and this 50% has caused a lot of confusion, because when you read Indian Puranas and scriptures, you're going to see that there is Ramayana and you're going to see that there is Mahabharata. In Ramayana, Lord Sri Ram kills Ravan and kills many other demons, okay? And in Mahabharata, Arjun also says, I am not going to get into a war. I will not wage a war on my own cousins and my own uncles and on my own relatives and blah blah blah. And Lord Shri Krishna, Narayan himself, says you have to do this, because who is standing in front of you, they are not on the path of dharma. So when you complete this statement, it means ahimsa paramo dharma, dharma hinsa tadevacha, which means in order to stand by dharma, to stand by the right things, sometimes you have to wage a war, sometimes you have to follow violence. So when I say violence, it doesn't mean that you go on, hitting people around and causing destruction. I'm talking about taking a stand for yourself and saying no to a lot of things, and being in that energy, being in that power when you don't accept bad things from other people, when you don't accept bad behavior from other people. You don't have to please other people. You don't have to be someone who always is nice and sweet and always is in that vegetable state. Meditation is not about being in a state where you are taking bullshit and nonsense and disrespect from people. And I'm telling you, when you change, when you become a person, when you actually become a spiritual warrior, a lot of people around you who are from the hardcore materialistic world, materialistic reality, or they're very much into the body, they're going to tell you that you don't do this or you don't do that, because if you're going to do this, you're going to bring a bad name to us, or you're going to do this, you are going to make us look bad in the society, because they are more societally influenced and they are more outwardly connected. So they will think that, okay, this person is bringing a bad name to the family by becoming spiritual, or this person is doing the wrong thing by disobeying me or by not behaving in a certain way. I mean, it's very interesting that there were a bunch of people who were abusing street animals, okay, and at first it was like every time you would go and talk to them, they would say, just get lost from here, we want these street animals to be out. And to throw those street animals out, they were creating a certain kind of violence, like poisoning the street animals, or using sticks and stones to hit them, or whatever bowls were kept for them, breaking those bowls and throwing them away. And they were okay to do that. They were okay to pick up small little puppies or little kittens, put them in a cardboard box, and then drop them in a random place, in a random area, location. That is okay. So some of the people got together in the locality who are basically animal lovers, and they had to take really strong action. They actually had to act in a way which would be termed violent or aggressive or angry. As in this quote, it says, not following ahimsa, being hinsak, being someone who's violent. But in order to protect those innocent beings, those voiceless beings, those little animals, or in general the grown up street animals, some people had to literally protect them, and for that they had to do a hell lot of things. And you know what happened after that? Those people who were creating all of this violence to torture innocent beings, they went into a corner and they started complaining about the people who are protecting the voiceless beings, and saying that, these people are so violent and aggressive and angry and this and that. These people are not even nice to human beings. How the hell they have compassion? How the hell they have compassion for animals? They are not even nice to human beings. So I'll say it again, ahimsa paramo dharma, dharma hinsa tadaivacha. So if you have to take a stand for yourself and for your spirituality, for your journey, for your truth, for your authenticity, for the love seeking that you're doing, for the truth seeking that you're doing, there is a war happening within you. There is a war, there is a clash happening within you. And as a warrior, you have to stand up and you have to face the demons. You have to slay all of the demons. How you do that? You don't do it yourself. You do it like Arjun only. You do it with the help of Krishna. You do it with the help of Narayan. Ram, Lord Shri Ram. You hold the hand of Lord Shri Ram. Because who Ram killed? Ram killed Ravan. Who does Ravan stand for? The 10-headed demon king, demon lord Ravan, who no one could kill. At the end of the day, he died because of Sita ji. He died because of all the curses that were given to him by divine feminines. So even Lord Shri Ram got reincarnated on planet Earth. He came on planet Earth. The first scene of Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana is when Earth, the divine feminine Earth, goes to Vishnu. First they all the deities collect, but then it's Earth who goes to Vishnu and says that I cannot take it anymore. This Ravan is causing me a lot of pain. It is destroying my kids' life. Because Earth is also a mother. Earth is also a mother. As much as she is the divine feminine, she is also the mother of all creatures, and she is the caretaker of all creation on Earth. And she says he's destroying humanity, he's destroying morality, and he just goes and picks up any woman he likes and he just rapes them. He just picks them up. And it was the curses given to him by such divine feminines who he had misused, manipulated, and treated badly, that at the end Lord Shri Ram slayed him. So this Ravan and this Ram, so when Ravan was dying, he actually said this, that there will be a Ravan in every household in times to come. Right now you have killed me, okay, I will be gone, but a time will come, and he was talking about the dark ages, when Ravan will be in every house. When Duryodhan, in Mahabharata, you have Duryodhan and Dusashan. Duryodhan and Dusashan are the people who try to do an act of sexual misconduct with their own sister-in-law. And that's when again Narayan comes into the scene and he protects the morality, he protects Draupadi. Okay, so there will be Duryodhan, there will be Dusashan. Basically, Duryodhan and Dusashan are also another form of ego. They are symbolic of ego. They will be in every household. Okay, so when in every household there is Ravan, in every household there has to be someone who is Shri Ram, or someone who is a follower of Shri Ram, someone who's a follower of divine masculine and divine feminine. And this is why my heart says, and I know this is a fact, that twin flames have come on planet Earth to heal planet Earth, because twin flames embody the divine masculine and feminine energy. They become this Shiva and Shakti energy, obviously by surrendering to them first. They have to surrender to Shiva Shakti. They heal the solar plexus, they heal their confidence, they get back all their jewels, and then they are able to heal the planet, because when divine feminine and masculine are in union, they are in unity, they become a powerhouse of love, compassion, kindness. They are givers, natural givers, organic givers, and they take from source. So someone who is taking from source, their cup is always going to overflow. This whole discussion of dream partner, dream relationship, divine counterpart, spiritual ascension, twin flame, love, soulmate, all of this is incomplete and very dangerous when there is no mission. When we don't have a mission, when we are not volunteering, when we are not contributing. Because when we take a lot and we don't give it out, there will be a kind of damage within. It will blast. It is very dangerous. So we need to be in the state where we are not the doers, but we are also contributors. We become the medium and we have a mission of taking care of others, of helping others who reach out to us, or creating an ecosystem which in general, like nature, which is following the simulation of nature, we are in the state where we feel like if we are here, then we are not here for just ourselves. If we take from Mother Earth, then we also have to give it out. But we have to give it out in a way which is very pure and esoteric, minus the doership, of course, without any ego of doing, being the doer. There are a lot of vegetarians, vegans, spiritual people, people who talk about love. All of them are there on this planet right now. But many of them are actually doing the opposite of what they're supposed to do, is because they develop a superiority complex and they develop an ego around it. So if a person has become a vegan, or a person has become a spiritual person for that matter, they will go on telling other people, okay, you should also meditate, you should also meditate. Meditation is really good for you. You should do this, you should do that, or you should do service, or you should contribute, or you should, become a vegan. I mean, on a platform, talking about something is different. I'm talking about in general life also, when you start looking at people and you start saying, oh, you are inferior to me because you eat meat, or you are inferior to me because you're not a spiritual person. When we do that, even with twin flames, that happens, like you are a twin flame, or you're a starseed, or you're a light worker, you're on some mission. But if we start feeling superior about it, if we start thinking that, okay, I'm the best because of this, then that becomes a problem and a challenge. And the others who are around us, they actually become very competitive towards us. and they try to stop us. There are two types of people who are going to stop you. One, who genuinely don't want you to do good work, and two are those people, they want to stop you because you have given a message to them that you are not doing right. Again, there's a thin line into this, there's a balance into this. As I said, the first one who's getting triggered by you is getting triggered by you without you saying anything. Then that is where you need to become a warrior. So if you are living your life, you're doing good stuff and you're enjoying and blah blah blah, and somebody sees you, like you're feeding an animal on the street or a bird on the street, and somebody comes and says, hey, what you doing, don't do this, don't make my place dirty. My place as in the public property dirty, or just shoo these beings away. Then they are actually triggered by your kindness and compassion. They are triggered by your goodness. Or say, for example, you don't want to involve in sexual casual relationships. Okay, this is an example which a lot of you are going to face actually. You don't want to have casual sex, or you don't want to get into unnecessary relationships. You don't want to get married just like that. You don't want to be engaged just like that. So some of the people around you, your peers around you, your relatives around you, they're going to pester you to that level. They're going to poke you to that level that what you're doing is wrong. Every party you'll go to, every get together you'll go to, or even generally you meet somebody who's in a grihast setup. You are also a grihast, you are not a sannyasi, but in their opinion they feel that you are not really a grihast just because you're not married and you're not reproducing. So they might just stop you from being a spiritual person. Maybe you love your solitude, but some people keep creating disturbances in your solitude. So this is the time you want to take a stand, and that warriorship has to happen over there. And in reality, you don't have to slay anyone. There is a demon inside of you, or there is a negative energy inside of you. If you don't want to demonize your own self also, you want to look at the demon also with the eyes of love, then you can look at that negative energy or that entity or that love or that aberration of distorted love. You can look at it and you can say that it's okay, I can be this way, I can live my life this way. And that will come from acceptance of who you are, which will establish you in your being, and thus it will heal your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra, when it is not healed, it creates guilt and shame. It makes you feel like a person who is wrong for being their own self. And sometimes people are going to trigger you, and sometimes you are going to trigger people. So on the whole, twin flame journey is everything and nothing at the same time. It is very contextual, which means that your responses will change as per the context. If in a certain situation you have to be very disciplined, in the other situation you may have to be very casual. In one situation you have to act like a warrior, but in the other context you have to be angelic and calm and peaceful. And this is what is the teaching of Ramayana. This is the teaching of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is the teaching of Puranas. This is the teaching of Mahabharata. Because, if you look at Pandavas, the Pandavas are very innocent and cute and lovable, and they never say anything. They are always yes, yes, yes. Their cousins, the Kauravas, keep troubling them, keep creating problems for them. They even try to kill them on multiple occasions, but the Pandavas are very forgiving. But after a point, at one point, when Narayan steps in, it's like enough is enough. You cannot take it anymore because you will be over. You will be over. So what are the stories trying to tell us? It's contextual. Even there is a very interesting story of Krishna and Shishupal. So Shishupal is basically a cousin of Shri Krishna. He is basically related to him, his relative. His mother had taken a boon from Krishna, saying that you are going to forgive 100 mistakes of Shishupal, because maybe she knew everyone knows, like the mother knows what the child is going to be like. The mother says, in most cases the mothers know. In twin flames we have exceptions in the world of twin flame. So the mother says that please forgive him for 100 mistakes, and Shri Krishna says okay. So Shishupal, in an open stage, in an open platform, in an open arena, he abuses Shri Krishna many times, and he goes on abusing Shri Krishna, goes on abusing Shri Krishna, goes on abusing Shri Krishna, and Shri Krishna is listening, giving chances, more chances, more chances. So he is asked this question, why are you allowing him to abuse you this way? Shri Krishna says, because it is allowed 100 times. 100 mistakes are allowed. When he hurls abuses 101 times to me, 101th time, that will be the end of Shishupal. So as soon as Shishupal says the 101 abuse, Shri Krishna takes out his Sudarshan Chakra and cuts his head. Stories help in the spiritual growth, all of the stories that come from Puranas, because they teach us how to act in different contexts. The twin flame love is also like that. Twin flame love is here to help us in our spiritual growth. But most people don't understand it, and thus they suffer. And that's why when they reach the stage of surrender, they finally figure out that whatever is happening to me, all of the drama, all of the pain. Look, we are not in the times of Mahabharata and Ramayana where we have to go to a war zone and we have to fight for our lives. We are not over there right now. But we are here fighting against a lot of addiction patterns, a lot of programming patterns that the world has put us into in order to become a person who is spiritually mature, advanced and growth. And we are therefore getting into relationship dynamics. So romance is actually very helpful. Also, this romantic experience, the distorted romantic experience, is actually leading us to find unconditional love and truth within us. In the world of twin flames, telepathic connection is very, very important. It is given prime importance, and I feel this telepathic connection can only become stronger when you do chakra alignment work, because otherwise it will all be imagination and fantasy. It will all be a lot of mental masturbation, but it will really not be a telepathic connection that you seek. It will maybe keep you in lust. It will maybe keep you in really low energies. It will keep you, as we say, in Kam Vasana. In Hindi we say that. We are not going to get out of it because we are going to seek something, even if it is not purely physical, but we are still seeking something physical or some kind of validation or some kind of, like compliments or some kind of romantic chit-chat, which may not even be very natural and organic. The twin flame connection is a very satisfying connection. It is a very worthy connection. I mean, you feel very worthy at the end of it. You feel very independent at the end of it. Not the end of it, throughout also you feel like that. There is no end actually, to be honest, but there is a kind of gratitude, there is a kind of contentment, and there is a kind of peace that this whole experience is actually leading people to. The reason why twin flames are here is not just to merge, is not just for reunion. It is for contribution, and this is a mistake that some people make in understanding twin flames. They feel that twin flames is all about just meeting on earth and just becoming a couple and just getting married and having babies. That's not why they are here. If that was the case, then why would Lord Shri Ram and Sita get separated after he saves her from Ravan, brings her back to Ayodhya, they get together again, and she's pregnant with the crown prince of Ayodhya, and that's when he says that, okay, I will give up on this relationship. Why? Because the public is not happy, because the people are not happy, and I'm a king. I'm a king. What is he trying to show to the world? That the king cannot have a personal life. That is why he's a king. The king is a servant of the public. King is the servant of people he is serving to. That is the message he's trying to give to the whole world, and he is obviously serving other people by giving up on his personal joys and personal life. So That is why I tell people to read about the correct twin flame. Reading about the cardinal twin flames actually becomes very helpful in this journey. When you read about Shiva and Shakti, when you read about Radha and Krishna's pure love, you will realize that they were never into this labeling or this kind of physical togetherness or physical companionship. Shiva and Shakti used to meditate on their own. Parvati and Shiva used to be away from each other for days and for months sometimes. For such a long time they would be away from each other, and they would never question each other, they would never disturb each other, they would not create scene and drama. Why? Because they understand that there is a need of this person. Shiva was a hermit by birth and he had to be away. Hermits are like that. Hermits want to be on their own. Hermits want to do inner work. But because he loved Parvati, because he felt, after so much separation, after Sati perishes herself and Parvati is reborn, and there is a gap, there are a number of years of gap. So what are they trying to show to us? Shiva and Parvati's, Shiv Shakti's love story is not an easy one. Radha Krishna's love story is not an easy one. Ram Sita's love story is not an easy one. And here people are looking for a reunion. And this is what the others think. This is what the worldly world thinks, that this is what twin flame is all about. Twin flame is only about reunion. Twin flame is only about physical merge or a physical companionship. Two people holding their hands and singing and whistling in the woods. That is not what twin flame is all about. Next important point is mirroring. The mirroring that happens in a relationship pattern or between two people. This mirroring may not always be positive mirroring. This mirroring can be negative mirroring also. This mirroring can bring out their demons. This mirroring can bring out their flaws. This mirroring can bring out a lot of discomfort. This mirroring can bring out a lot of tears. This mirroring can bring out a lot of pains. And thus it is actually leading to lessons. So mirroring is there. Again, I will request people to use their common sense, their logic, as well as their emotions. The balance of emotions and logic is very much required in order to actually bifurcate and dissect whatever is happening via the mirroring. Mirroring also shows you the strengths of a person or a strength of your connection. If you have a person in your life, and you are basically in your low time, and the other person gives you strength and gives you support, then that means there is a certain kind of positive mirroring that is also working. So if they can give you strength, support, love, hope, they can also give you difficulties so that you become more independent. And when you are more independent, then you are more stronger. When you are in your strength, you become a stronger team, because they already have a certain amount of strength and you have your own strength. They had some flaws, you help them deal with those flaws, and they help you deal with your flaws, and thus you become a stronger team, a very, very strong team, a divine connection that has a purpose, that is there to contribute, and that is there to heal and raise the vibration of this planet without even being the doer, without the doership. That is like a really high level of energy. Pure energy. You don't have to look for the love outside. The love is within you. When you find the love within yourself, there is peace, there is understanding, there is contentment. Thus the seeking in the outside world is not needed, not required. The love between twin flames is very beautiful. It is one-way traffic. We just want to give. You don't want to take from anybody, especially from that person who matters to you. And therefore, once again, I'm going to ask you to use your logic and your emotions. Of course, people who connect with resonance of twin flames, or they connect with starseed, they are very sensitive. They are empathetic. Whosoever is here today who can resonate with these talks, with these words, you have a very pure heart, you have a lot of love in your heart. I can feel that emotional connect with a lot of people who are in this community. So you are here to become the messenger of love, of actual love, of unconditional love, and not just verbally in the movie or in the TV show or in some novel, but you actually become a physical manifestation of the energy of love. Now this is metaphysical to physical, so first metaphysically you become the embodiment of love, a walking talking embodiment of love. A very very important point is believing in divine timing, believing in the fact that everything is predestined, everything is pre-written, everything is happening on its own. So whatever happens, we are in observational mode. Like all the things I said, if it's all done in observational mode, then it's all like working via the divine timing, and thus there is no trouble, or there is no difficulty, or there is no like, why is it happening this way, why is it happening that way, oh I'm so unlucky, oh it's so annoying. At the end of the day, it is all peaceful and calm, because you know that it's happening via divine timing. Universe is orchestrating it, masters are orchestrating it, source is orchestrating it. So why worry? When all of these things, when all of these points start making sense, that's when we start feeling complete. Usually we don't feel complete. We are not complete, we are not whole, we are not divine. There is a doubt, there is an uneasiness, there are lots of desires that make us feel like, okay, I need to do this also, I need to do that, I need to achieve this, I need to achieve that. Only then I will be worthy of love, only then I will be the right kind of person that people want to be around, or only then in my own eyes also, I mean we all think like that, in our own eyes also we become like, okay, now finally I'm good to go. But this feeling of completion happens via the twin flame ascension journey, which is why this journey is so beautiful, because when the masculine and feminine unite within you, you start feeling complete. When you start feeling complete, you feel complete, whole and divine as a soul. And what is a soul? Soul is complete, whole and divine on its own. Now a lot of people are going to talk about scientific theories and scientific proofs and this and that, but I personally feel that science in today's time and date, and even metaphysically I would say that science is very much challenged, because science needs to still figure things out. And I'm not saying in certain places science has not been helpful. There are certain allopathic medicines which can give you temporary relief. There are certain antipsychotic medicines that give people some relief. There are also certain psychedelics that can help people in certain things, and they can give them relief. But at the end of the day, we all know that these chemicals are also being produced in our brain, in our minds. The DMT is within us. Why some people in the twin flame ascension journey, okay, let's not use the word twin flame ascension journey, let's talk about people in spiritual ascension journey who are advancing. How do they get visions? How do they get clairvoyance? How are they able to do astral projections? How are they able to get into a routine? Why are they eating such foods that kind of create that energy of immortality? And again, immortality should not be confused as physical immortality. I'm just saying immortality is also an energy, which we'll discuss in some other video. But why some people are able to do certain things like travel out of their body, have lucid dreaming experiences, have communication experiences. There are some people who are animal communicators, there are some people who are tree and plant communicators, there are some people who can communicate with the people who have crossed over. There are some people who can communicate with masters, and some people can communicate with their ancestors, and so on and so forth. So there's a whole domain. Of course, there are fake people also in this, because they are always there. Like no matter what you do, they'll always be there. Why waste our energy in talking about it? That is a different subject. Some other day we'll cover it. But how are these people able to do these activities? Because they know in their brain they can create oxytocin or serotonin, or there is a certain production of DMT, which is happening in a very correct way with them whenever it is required. So body can create anything and everything that the body needs. And there's a very interesting story between Ram Das and Baba Neem Karoli regarding the psychedelics only. And basically Ram Das at that time was a student. He was not a master like he is today, and he had gone to Baba Neem Karoli with a pack of psychedelics, and he said to Baba Neem Karoli that, this can help you, experience this and that. And he said, oh really? So there were so many of those LSD capsules, like those stamps, in his small packet, and Neem Karoli Baba took it all in one go and ate everything, like all of them. Imagine one small drop of acid can create so much in a person's mind. He took all of it, and you know what happened? Nothing. He just sat like this, and he said, maza nahi aaya, which means not so much fun. Why did he say that? How did he say that? And there were so many miracles that Baba Neem Karoli was creating on a day-to-day level. So this journey, if you're going to see it like just a physical journey and you're looking for a physical partner, a physical manifestation, I don't think this journey will do justice to you. But if you are actually doing inner work and you're looking for something more than regular, something more divine, something more esoteric, something profound, and you're able to work on yourself, and you're able to forgive, and you're able to let go, you can achieve it all. You can actually achieve it all. You can achieve a lot. And I personally feel that doership is a big problem. Ego is a big problem. Worrying is a big problem. Worry, the energy of worry. When you worry so much, you actually remain stuck in the worldly problems. So this discussion was done. This talk was created in order to clear some questions. If you have more questions, please feel free to drop them and I shall try to cover it. I will see you in the next video. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.